The billing section of the setup allows you to modify and set clinic billing data. The first tab of this section is Clinic Information. Tax rate and local sales tax rate sets the percentage of sales tax. This is line itemed in the patient's billing ledger for taxable charges. The tax rate will usually correspond with state sales taxes, and the local sales tax rate will correspond with city or county tax rates. They will combine to equal your total sales tax rate. You will also be able to run a report to show all sales taxes earned, which will make quarterly reporting easier. The Optum Insight ID and password are used when you use our system to send insurance claims. These values will be provided by Optum. Watch the insurance billing video for more information. Billing locations allows you to track billing by location. These can be real or virtual locations. For example, if you had 2 physical locations and wanted to be able to set up the system to distinguish between the 2, you would list the locations here. Patient information on bill will show your desired choices for the patient information on the patient bill. The left side is what is available, and the right side is what is selected. Select a choice from the left and click the arrow to move it to the right. You can also remove information from the bill by clicking on the right column and select the arrow to move it back to the left. The clinic information on bill is similar in that it allows you to select what clinic information is shown on the patient bill. You can also include a note to go on the bottom of your patient bill. Note examples would include due upon receipt or thank you for your payment. You can choose the envelope style so the address on the patient bill will show in a windowed envelope. You will need to fine-tune the setup using the left and top margin to get it to fit just right. Fine-tuning is required due to printer and browser settings that cannot be controlled by ChiroPractice Pro. You also have the option to include the return address on the bill. The next checked box is used when you print a CMS 1500 form for insurance billing. There are some settings that you can change, and they show in a box on the printing page. Once these settings have been set and you no longer need to change the settings, this checkbox can be selected and the print options on the CMS 1500 can be hidden for your convenience. Finally, you have an option for displaying the diagnosis codes in the patient data window. You can either set them to display by the code or by the date they were assigned. The next tab, Providers, sets the billing providers, submitters, service facilities, rendering providers, and referring providers primarily used for insurance billing. You can create an unlimited number of lines in this section and set the default providers for your claims. You can change the providers on individual patients and claims, but these are the defaults for your system. To create a new line, click the Add New button below the table and fill out the appropriate information. Not all the information is required for every provider, but should be filled out as completely as possible. There are some important portions of this form that must be considered. The first consideration is person and non-person. A person cannot be a facility, and a non-person cannot be a submitter, rendering provider, or referring provider. If a person is set as the default billing provider, the person can be used as default for all the items. The Pay To should only be used if the checks for insurance payment go to a different location. Addresses cannot be PO boxes unless it is used in the Pay To line. Taxonomy codes are not generally used, but some insurance companies will require them. Tax IDs are input for insurance billing, and zip codes must be 5+4 zip code numbers. Click the I, the information icon, to display the line information for each line, and click the X icon to delete the line. The next tab, Insurance, is for insurance companies billed by your clinic. Add new insurance companies by clicking the Add New button at the bottom of the table. If you are sending electronic claims through Optum, you only need the company name and the payer ID. You only need to provide the address when you print claims on CMS 1500 forms or drop the claim to paper for submission. To find the payer ID, click on the Payer ID link. Charges make up the next tab. The charges are listed by category and CPT code. To edit a charge, click the charge in the list. To add a new charge, click the Add New button. And to delete a charge, select the charge in the list and click the Delete button. The charge code is a unique identifier like the CPT code for the charge. A charge code is required even if it's not a billable code. The description is a charge description and will show in list and on bills. The amount is the dollar amount of the charge. The category allows you to select or create new categories for your charges. You can sort charges easily by your desired categories that you use in your office. In our demo, we've sorted the charges into CMT for chiropractic manipulative therapy, exams, modalities, and then some other further categories. The first checkbox is taxable, which makes the charge subject to the sales and/or local tax provided in the Clinic Information tab of billing. If this is not checked, no tax will be calculated. The second checkbox is billable. If this is checked, this charge will be available for a claim to be submitted to the insurance company. If you have a default modifier for the charge, input the modifier in the billing modifier box. This will always show with this particular billing charge. You can also track the inventory of items in ChiroPractice Pro. Current inventory is where you set your current inventory for products. The inventory set point will alert you when your current inventory drops below this number for restocking or reordering. Diagnosis codes is the next tab. Similar to the charges, the diagnosis codes are listed by category. Checking a diagnosis code in the list will show you the details for the code, and the Add New and Delete button work the same as in the charges. Diagnosis codes can be anything you want, including ICD-9, ICD-10, or other systems of diagnosis. If you have a list of ICD-10 codes that you frequently use, or you would like a list of common ICD-10 codes input into your system, just send us a help request and we'll do this for you. The description is used to identify the code in the system, and you can assign or create groups here as well. The final tab, Attorneys, in the billing section is a list of attorneys. This is similar to the Insurance tab, and you can assign the attorneys to a patient in the patient's own patient data window. Click the Add New to create a new attorney, and the I, the information icon, button to edit the attorney information. The X icon deletes the attorney. We've just reviewed the options and settings for billing in ChiroPractice Pro. If you have any questions, send us a support request or email us at info@chiropracticepro.com.